Welcome back, everybody, to another home scene. Although this will probably be more of a eulogy than a home scene towards our
Yeah.
dearly departed Agnes. Meescha, how are you?
I'm doing a lot better than Agnes is doing.
It's true.
Was doing. So I can't complain, really.
Here we go. I do want to start this off by apologizing to you. I feel that with Agnes's death, we didn't really stop and kind of necessarily go over like the impact of it and whatnot. Like that was a pretty big moment, and I feel like we kind of glossed over it. I'm sorry for doing that to you. I don't think that was I should have like stopped and pulled aside, and maybe you and I talked about it a little bit and just kind of go over like just the impact of it all. And I felt like I went past it too fast. And so I just want to say I'm sorry. I feel bad for that.
Well, as a fellow DM, I can sympathize more with you with trying to gather your thoughts during a stressful situation. So I totally understand. And it's totally fine. Like, these characters aren't meant to stick around. So if you kind of did a eulogy for every single one, or like every time an agent died, we'd be spending a lot of time on eulogies.
Right, but for someone who'd made it through all three missions to that point, I don't know. To me, as I was thinking about it afterwards, like, like I kind of feel shitty for not stopping and acknowledging like that. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to gloss over it if you felt that we did or anything like that.
No,
so.
I appreciate it. I did get some hate mail, and I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. They said that I did Agnes dirty, and honestly, like, I don't know what else I would have done. We had a good long time, like a good chunk of time to think about what we were going to do between Agnes going out there and then, finally, acting on it. And for the life of me, I just could not think of anything else that she would do. And,
I get it. Like, I mean, I loved it. I thought it fit to what we were building up to. So
I think so too. I really do.
And so whoever gave you hate mail, whatever.
Yeah,
that's
I'm not going to
That's why we play games.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. If she's dead now, what are you going to do? Ha!
Also, she wasn't real to begin with, so.
Oh, also true. But, I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, I've been playing her for over a year now, so yeah, she was kind of like a familiar friend after a while, but like, I knew already she wasn't going, she is not made to last forever. I could have retired her so she could have had a happy ending, but I just don't think Agnes would have, been a good retiree, having a family, knowing what she knows. Like,
I didn't feel like Agnes. Yeah.
Nah, so I'm okay with it.
I also enjoyed that you were still 1 point away from sanity, from hitting a breaking point.
Still, right? Yeah, I was so close, and she still didn't hit it. So I was kind of like, what is she gonna do? So, it's okay. It's all right.
No, that's good. I wanted to just kind of talk about, I guess, kind of eulogize the ending here of Agnes. Mm-hmm. When we last saw as we kind of faded out there, we saw Essex drop her body off at Reflex's compound with West.
Yeah.
And I think West would have I think West would have buried her there.
I think so.
Got like a nice pit, or a grave, dug it for her, maybe made like a cheaper headstone.
Yeah.
The one thing I was trying to figure out what West would do is what would she do with the property itself? Like,
well, I kind of been thinking
there's only two people who knew about it.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like West would take in both Agnes and Acid Reflex's cats, because I feel like West isn't heartless, and she would just make sure that they're all, taken care of, and all the chickens and whatnot. And then she probably would just, like, let it go, like, make sure there's no important files anymore on the servers, just kind of, like, let nature reclaim it, like, just not worry about it anymore. It's just kind of like a dead, gone, forgotten memory.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or like it would become a green box at some point. Like,
oh, that's so dope too. Okay,
they would know it's out there, and it would become like a green, essentially, yeah, like a place to drop stuff off. But maybe just one that like she or a few people know about, like not a wide known green box.
Well, your ideas are so much better every time.
let's not go that far. Go for it.
Oh, I had another thought though, and I was kind of like, this is like a prequel to what my next character was going to be. So I kind of thought, like, what if, like, the coroner from the last mission went ahead and emailed her findings to Agnes's sister in, I forget what city I put her in. I'll have to look that up in my notes. So Agnes' sister, I don't know if I've ever gone deep into this. So Agnes had a twin sister she didn't know anything about, who I am basing off of Scully from the X-Files. So she's more of a medical kind of, physician kind of person. And I was thinking the coroner could have emailed her quote unquote friend, I have never seen this before. Have you seen anything like this before? And it was Agnes's sister looking up oh, this weird thing eating brains. What the fuck is going on? And West found out, and then that's how Agnes's sister gets indoctrinated into Delta Green.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be great because then she could even do something along the lines of this is tied to your sister. Does the other sister know about Agnes? Know that she exists? Because I know they were split up pretty young, right?
Yeah, I don't think either of them know of the existence. Cause one went with the dad, one went with the mom, and they just kind of split their ways.
Right.
So they don't really know that they had a sibling in the first place. So I think the coroner, I was thinking, the coroner may have known, if she met Agnes's sister, they look alike. Maybe, but then I don't know if they would just be medical pen pals. I don't know if they don't know what each other's look like. It's crazy random happenstance, but I thought that'd be a good segue of indoctrinating Agnes's sister into Delta Green.
No, I think that's perfect. I think that maybe we even have that where West knows about her and maybe shows up one day with these things of hey, I need your help on figuring this out because she has all the documents that Essex and them gave her. They destroyed the creature itself, but she could go there. But no, I think that's great. I think that's a very wonderful kind of capstone to this all of tying the fact that this was, all intents and purposes, he said he was your uncle. I think if we would have explored that more, I don't think he would have been. I just think he read your background and was trying to use it to sympathize you to get on his side.
Yeah. I can see him doing that. He seems kind of well, all church pastors are manipulators, right? Oh, I said it.
Well, yeah. So, my whole kind of thought with this as it started was with Agnes. I think that with the two survivors getting there, they talked with Marshall about all this. And we're no, if we're gonna do this, I want my chance to get revenge on her for basically upending my life. Mm-hmm. And so that's how he got you, and then looked at the others, trying to build this team that he thinks he could convince. And so I think part of him was trying to if he brought it in as your uncle, try to convince you he was blood that might do something for you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Since Agnes really didn't grow up with any family, she ran away from a fairly early age. So that makes sense.
Well, and that's why he's just oh yeah, no, your dad's dead. It's well, is he dead? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
he's out there somewhere.
So, I was trying to think of how because part of his thing was trying to give everybody a reason to stay there and give them a reason to believe into whatever bullshit he's trying to sell them.
Yeah.
He believed it. He believed his aspect of it, trying to convince three random people who know very well about the existence of the supernatural to join him is probably a harder task than a bunch of yokels.
Those would be some high rolls.
Yeah. So, but, oh well, it didn't end up, we didn't really explore that path, and I just kind of threw it out there. If it was something that I explored, we'd explore it more, but either way, if it,
but she died, it kind of fixed itself.
Yeah, very true. But yeah, I think I like that last scene image of just seeing West bury her, maybe say some words, go inside, get the cats, back them into her car, drive back to wherever West is from. Would never really establish that, nor are we ever going to, because I want to keep her a mystery.
Aha.
And yeah, I think we just see that. She goes about her day-to-day life. I still think she's a little torn up about it for a while, just because, she feels partially responsible for all this, because she brought you guys back for that second mission, and going through all that. I think that still weighs pretty heavy on her.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I think it was, I think Agnes, to me, it was her right decision to try to, that was part of the mission, was to kill that lady. To kill her.
Right,
and so she took her shot, and
Marissa was, the loose end. This was, this is how Agnes finishes the first mission, was Marissa dead, and that was, that was just her tunnel vision. That was what she wanted to accomplish. She just wanted things to be over and done, because the further she dug into this whole thing, that 2 years between the first and second mission, she knew more than she kind of wanted to know, and she thought she wanted to know more, and the more she knew, just the more people died around her, and she was like, nah, I don't want this. I just want to put a nice little happy bow on it and call it good.
Yeah, and I think that also, I love that out-of-characterness of Agnes there, because Agnes is usually the one that's kind of rational, focused on what needs to be done, and like this was her moment where she went against what she probably, whether she thought was the better judgment or whatnot, it was kind of an out-of-character move for her, because she's usually pretty well thought out and whatnot, but I think that kind of adds to the fact that, that she's so close to sanity loss, she's so close to these other things, like it just made sense in that moment to take the shot, so...
Right, yeah, and she's seen so much without still having a breaking point. I figure, like, this amount of time going by, it would still wear on her for being so close to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as we kind of, like, transition out of that, and, it's tough because you only got to play one character through it all, but were you happy with Agnes's evolution from rookie to basically like leading 2 missions in a sense? Like,
I love a strong female character. That's why I keep basing all of these characters up. And the thing is that usually I make guy characters, so it's like it's very odd for me to repetitively make a female character, because like I don't want to identify so close to who I'm playing because I don't want to get attached. But like for some reason, and I don't know why this is, like in Pathfinder, you haven't killed my alchemist yet, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and it's been like 4 years now since we've been playing that campaign, and I'm the only one left, and I don't know what I'm doing to not die yet. So like, of course now, it's been 4 years, I have a strong attachment to my alchemist. I don't want to have another strong attachment to this made-up character. I don't want it. If my alchemist dies, I'm going to need like 10 minutes just to be like, okay, just like, give me a second. He was an old friend. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah. But like for the evolution, like, I don't know, with Agnes, I kind of just I want her to go out. If she was going to go out, I want her to go out finishing the mission. Absolutely. And I know she was supposed to be rational, and I know she was supposed to be calm and collected and, thinking everything through. But I think this is just the one time that broke her where she was like, you know what, I'm not going to think this through. I'm just going to bulldoze my way through it, get it over with. And I'm really happy with it. I think I still did her justice, even though she's dead now. I still like to think that she knew she accomplished it. So she was happy.
I mean, she killed Marissa, so.
She did. And, I can't believe I still, she has really good firearms, and I can't believe I missed the first shot, but, that's just how you roll.
Yeah, no, it is. That's how it goes sometimes. It sucks. Yeah. But, yeah, I was very impressed with her and watching her grow, and it was definitely one of those moments where I was very excited to see you kind of take on almost like a leadership role, because I know, you play a lot of, you play support characters a lot, it seems like. Like, obviously, you're playing your alchemist, who is very much a support role in a Pathfinder game.
Yes.
But he's also become kind of the de facto leader because he's the only one left. But it was cool to watch you kind of bring Agnes in as, like you said, the very first mission, she's by the books, very rational, trying to think everything out. And then the second mission, I think there's that kind of turning point where it's personal, and then things start to kind of break down. And then the third mission is very much just like, I just want to get this shit done so I can be like, I don't want to think about this anymore, so I want this done.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, like me as Meescha, this is Meescha talking. Meescha is not a leader. So I know me. So for me to play these characters that are like have to make these big decisions, where are we going to go, how are we going to split up, be the logical one and like be the voice of reason. I don't take on those roles. So for me to have these characters that are kind of like defaultly thrown into these roles is kind of mind-boggling to me, because I didn't think that I would be able to handle it, but these characters do. So I don't really know how that works in the end, but it ended up working.
No, absolutely. I think you've done a great job with Agnes, and I think she is probably one of my favorite characters I've seen you play.
Oh,
I know we have had a whole ton of we had the 5e game and we have the Pathfinder one, but I think Agnes to me felt the most like realistic of a character.
Thanks.
Had the most grounded nature to her. Like it definitely felt like you were playing a real person. Granted, fantasy is a little harder to do that. But nonetheless, like it was very cool to see you take a serious approach with it and really just knock it out of the park. Like you did a fantastic job with it.
Oh, thank you. This game has really like inspired me because I wrote the campaign for you guys, and like this game, it's just such a cool game to expand on. Like basically, you have your core rules, and then everything else you just get to make the fuck up. It's amazing.
Yeah, and if you don't like a rule, like most games, change it.
Yeah.
As long as the table agrees with it, fucking go with it.
I love it. So, yeah, thank you for even introducing us to this game. It's really been, like, I have really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed writing my scenario for you guys. I'm excited to see where you guys go with it. So, like... Me
too. I am, I want to tell you this, and I mean this, and I said this to Cody, and I said this to Tyler as well, is... I would have never known this was your first time GMing. Sans like your nervousness, obviously, going into this. But you're doing an amazing job with the first, 3 episodes we recorded at this point.
Oh,
you are fucking killing it, and I want you to know that you are doing an incredible job.
Thank you. I did try to do my homework. I was very, very nervous, but I did try to do my homework. And I think... Yeah, the first 3 episodes, obviously, I overthought and, got cringe feelings because I was like, I could have done that better,
you always have that.
I don't think that, it was my first time, so I was, trying not to be so hard on myself, but of course I'm like, nope, that was cringe, Meescha, you're so cringe, you need, go kill yourself.
No, I have those I still have those thoughts with stuff. Obviously me apologizing for Agnes's death, I felt like that was in the moment that we could have expanded a pound on more, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, that was an asshole thing of me to do.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'm excited to see where you guys go with my campaign. Now, 3 episodes are good. I'm curious to see what the listeners think. I'm curious to see what you guys do from there. It's all up in the air. You guys have all the decisions in your hand now, so I want to see what you guys do. I want to get flummoxed by how you guys confuse me.
Yeah, so looking at it from my character's point of view, I'm trying to decide how far he's willing to push things, as now with the information we have, is there, what are the ramifications for things that he does? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If there's going to be whatever this is happening, I think I'm trying to decide with where his sanity's at, how far he would go to explore what he can do in that realm.
Yeah,
and so,
for sure.
And trying to keep to the fact that he's I'm trying to make him a shitty human being. I don't want him to be likable, and it's hard for me to make some of the misogynistic comments knowing that you are a female GM, and I hope you know that they're not directed at you.
Oh, I know. It's okay. It is totally okay. You're playing your character.
It just still feels gross because I don't yeah, I don't know. There's just that part of me where it's well, no, this is my friend Meescha, who's a female, and here I am making calling a woman sugar and gross shit like that old boomer guys do, because I'm very much basing him off a shitty old boomer.
Okay, I'll put it on the record now. Since it's being recorded, Chris has never been misogynistic to me in the 12 years that I have known him. He's golden. No, he's good.
I wasn't worried about that. It's just that it's that weird thing inside of me, right? I don't. I want to be respectful of you and what you're doing, but I also so there's just that weirdness. It's a me thing, and so I just want to make sure none of my comments are directed towards you.
I did not.
And I don't think you would take it that way, but I just want to make sure.
I appreciate it.
Well, there's a dynamic there that we're not used to in that sense, so I want to make sure that it's properly conveyed. So
right. No, I appreciate, and I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it now. So that's how much I didn't even think about it.
Perfect, good, because when I was some of the comments I made, I'm shit, I'm not. I hope she didn't think I was directing that towards her. I thought that I didn't think you would, but yeah. Nonetheless, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm very, very excited to see where you're going to go with your story. I'm excited to see what you're going to build in Traveler when we sit down and start doing that.
Yeah. Seriously, that sounds really awesome. I can't wait.
It's a very cool system. I'm the more I'm reading into it. I was telling Cody that Ricky had a cookie decorating class at the YMCA he signed up for.
Oh yeah.
And I hit a new level of not giving a shit about nerdery, where I brought the Traveler rulebook and I'm just sitting in the middle of a YMCA reading through the rules while Ricky's decorating cookies.
Aww.
I'm just fuck it. What are they going to do? Say I'm a fucking nerd? Duh. I'm sitting, who gives a shit? I don't fucking care.
You get to a certain age where you're just you turn into crotchety old man, you just got that mentality.
Yeah, I feel like I've had that for like the past 20 years of my life.
I wish I need to get there. I need to get like fully there because like I want to have crotchety old man syndrome, but like I don't know, I still have that like people pleaser in me where it's fairly disruptive and I hate it about myself, but I'm always like, you know, I gotta make all these things happen and it's gonna be terrible for me, but you know what? At least I get the extra credit for trying that they're never going to remember.
I always feel like I am like a weird, like optimistic nihilist where I generally feel like I'm a pretty, like, I don't say happy-go-lucky guy, but I'm a pretty positive guy. Like, I think positively about a lot of stuff. I try to keep a positive mental attitude. But then there's the other flip side of me where it's like, none of this fucking matters. We're all specks of dust in the galactic, like, eons. Like, nothing we do here matters in any entirety in the, like, thought process of this universe.
Right.
So it's like this weird dichotomy there of just like, well, I'm just going to try to be good to the people around me then, and like that's what I'm going to focus on, because if I start going down that nihilistic route of just like nothing matters, then I'm going to probably buy into it way harder than I need to. But
no, that's way better, because
it's a weird balance.
It's way better than someone who's like a narcissist who has like main character syndrome, where they're just thinking everyone else is just, you know, NPCs in their little simulation.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate those people so much.
I hope I never get to that route. I don't think I will.
I don't think I will either, just because I think we're so aware in that regard. But like, there was like this TikTok trend of like people taking videos of themselves in public and then being like, "How many of these people are NPCs?" And it's like, "Oh, fuck you, fuck you."
That's weird.
That's just weird.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
That's weird. That's odd. I don't get that, but whatever. I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do, right? So
yeah.
But no, I do want to say I am extremely happy to have you at the table. You were one of my favorite human beings ever, and
thank you.
Also one of the people I like to play with. And yeah, I'm internally grateful that we became friends, and you and Paula were like my first female friends I ever had. So like, I don't know, I think we became friends like in my mid-30s, like early 30s.
I think early 30. You're not that much older than me. I think I met you when I was like 20. I started working at the comic book store at 22.
Yeah, and I don't remember how old I was then, but I was probably like in my 30s.
That was
like late 20s, early 30s.
That was 13 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would have been 33.
Okay. I didn't think you were that much older than me. Huh, whatever. Okay.
I mean, I'm 39, so I guess I've been 36.
Oh, 13?
26?
Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. But yeah, nonetheless, like, yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I've always been very appreciative of your friendship. And yeah, with you and Paula especially, like, it was very uncharted territory for me of, like, I've never been friends with a girl before. I don't know how this works. Like, you know, like, but, yeah, nonetheless, yeah, you have always been very cool, and I'm very happy that we got to play games finally together, and that we're doing this, and I got to meet Cody through you and all this, so I just want to make sure you're fully aware of how stoked I am for you, so.
Oh, thank you. You were just, you're one of the coolest the customers to, like, come into the comic book store, and, like, I was not bothered by you sticking around and just chatting. 99% of the time when people came in just to stick around and chat, it's like, dude, I got a fucking job to do, Like, I can't just sit here and talk to you, but, like, whenever you came in, and then, like, Paula would stop what she was doing so she could stop and chat, and then I would stop what I was doing so we could stop and chat, it was, like, it was a nice little treat during the day to break it up from the monotonous.
I remember a couple nights being there too late where I'm like, yo, want me to, like, follow you to the car just in case? Like, there's, like, it's a shady area, so.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of that. Like, the late night Magic gatherings, like, we had designated people that take shifts to, like, wait till we closed up and walk us to the car. It was a fucking shady area.
That's
like, I had to call 911 so much.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, so I guess kind of just closing all out, I'm very excited to see where you're going with your story. And I'm very, very interested to see how we're going to react to it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy to be able to play with you more, and I thank you for your time.
Oh, well, I mean, thank you for even, you know, I feel like I'm in the in clique with you, so I feel like really gifted in that way, so thank you very much. And I'm interested to see, usually I don't like to, you know, connect characters too much, like you just start fresh, like everyone else who has made a new character, they just kind of started fresh from the beginning, and this is kind of still has strings to the last character, but I kind of like, you know, having side stories, like exactly like what I'm doing with my campaign. I like having side stories. I like having parallel things that need to be told. I like that a lot in stories, and I try to be...
It fleshes it out more.
Exactly. So I know, I think there's still more to flesh out with Agnes and her sister. I think there's more information, and if not, then it'll just be a cool, fun, like, position character I get to make.
I think just learning more about, like, the dad side, too. Like, we don't, like, you know... did the sister went with the dad, right? Or did she go with the mom?
The sister went with the mom. So, like, what the fuck is wrong with the mom? That would just be okay with that.
Right, exactly, yeah. So that's a cool avenue to explore there, so.
Yeah.
But do you want to give anybody a tease about what your campaign is going to focus on? Do you want to do any of that, or just say, fuck them, we're going to do it when it's out?
Okay, yeah, I give a little tease. So, the scenario that I wrote is kind of, it's a little bit back in time, so it's going to be Acid Reflex's first mission, and Strauss and Duffy are there, and they've, like, had a couple missions under their belt, and they have been summoned to figure out why people are disappearing on a remote island, and the more they uncover, the more things just kind of don't add up, so it's just kind of like, and I know what people are thinking. They're like, well, if it's a prequel, then it's like, we know they're not going to die. What's the suspense there? But, like, I will say that I know how timelines work, and I have figured this out. So please just trust me. Know that I have things planned. I have the beginning planned and the end planned, and everything in the middle is up in the air. So we'll see what happens.
That's just us fucking it up all the way.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time today, Meescha. I'll let you get back to whatever fun things you got planned.
Chipotle, I think, is in my future. Today has been
a
day.
Yeah. There you go. I'm going to go back to baking cookies for people, so.
Ooh, yeah, baking cookies. 'Tis the season.
Exactly, yeah. So, all right, well, you have a wonderful day. Thank you again.
Oh, you too. Bye.